Hey guys, welcome to my new YouTube video. My name is Angie. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're not. Hey, how you doing? Today we're gonna go ahead and get into this look where we go ahead and talk about being Black in Japan, my personal experience. It's just gonna be an educational video, really heartfelt, and just talk about a lot of things. So I hope you guys stick to the end. If you have any questions that I didn't answer in the video, go ahead and leave in the comment section below so I can go ahead and get back to you guys. Because I really want this to be kind of a conversation for us to have, and I want everyone to go ahead and have a great experience in Japan like I had. So stick around, let's go ahead and get to this video. Peace. Okay, so I just started on my foundation. It's a powder foundation like I usually use, but yeah. So there's like a misconception that a lot of people like will ask you about or like kind of entertain. I remember being asked like, oh, have you ever been to jail before? Do you smoke weed? Do you do drugs? Or is like your dad a criminal? And I'm just like, what happened to hello? Or in this case, what happened to konnichiwa? Why are you asking me about criminal histories in my family, you know? And that's purely out of ignorance. So honestly, like you're gonna find those misconceptions kind of be brought to life throughout some ignorant people, but at the same time, a lot of Japanese people do actually know that just Black people are just humans. So don't say that like you'll have a hard time and everyone thinking like you're dangerous or scary or intimidating. A lot of Japanese people actually, even through like street interviews that I've seen, they're really open to like just having foreigners and people of different races, ethnic backgrounds, nationalities, all coming in the country. But as far as the misconceptions, baby, they are there. They are there and they are strong. You will, if you do come across an ignorant Japanese person, you will see how far their ignorance can really take them. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is racism in Japan. I'm going to talk from a foreigner's perspective, for someone who stayed there short term, or from a lot of friends who stayed there for a couple years, who never grew up or spent their childhood in Japan. A lot of people, myself included, we mostly feel like you're just gonna be kind of outcasted to just a level of foreignness. You're always going to be seen as a foreigner. You're not necessarily going to be seen in the same negative connotation as how someone would see you if they were like extremely racist. But this is mostly going to be relevant to urban areas. So like Tokyo. The reason why I say it like that is because like I haven't experienced any type of racism in Japan, but I also only been there for like a couple months. But I also have some friends who've been there for like almost a decade and they haven't really experienced much racist scenarios out there. I don't have much of a negative thing to say whenever it comes to my experience in Japan as a Black person. I just felt like, oh, you're a foreigner. And for the people who even know like my ethnic backgrounds and stuff like that, they just want to learn more about me. Like I was just something new to them. I will do a second video where I kind of just get some of my friends together and we could talk about it and just talk about like how everyone dealt with living in Japan as far as them being a foreigner and being a person of color. Alright, cool. So another thing I want to talk about is like kind of how, you know, a lot of people see like these street interviews and stuff like that, and you can see like people like wearing dreads and like afros and current hairstyles and stuff like that. I know a lot of people on social media will be like, oh, they hate us but they want to be just like us. And I could say as far as Japan, a lot of Japanese people don't hate Black people. Like they really don't. I've never met any, well obviously if I met them they probably wouldn't hate me because they're letting me meet them, but I haven't seen it in a way for them to outwardly just pop up and be like, I hate you. Like I don't see that at all. But as far as the Japanese people who are wearing these type of hairstyles and like dressing a certain way, I would say that they're definitely just embodying the culture in a way of respect. And I've never seen anybody who's done it, who's explained why they have those type of hairstyles, mean any harm out of it. They're all just like, no, I think it's cool. I respect the culture. I respect like, it's just something that they do to kind of share it. The same way you go to Japan and you're wearing kimonos and stuff, is the same way Japanese people will feel like they're able to wear dreads and braids and cornrows and stuff like that. And for me, the type of person that I am, since I'm always willing and open to like sharing culture and stuff like that, I don't mind like if somebody came up to me and say, hey, can you braid my hair, or hey, can you like help me with my locks or something like that, or give me like a retwist, because like to me that's a part of sharing culture as well, you know. So I don't really see that in a negative way, and I wouldn't say it's appropriation, more of an appreciation type of thing. The same way you go to Japan and appreciate their culture, they're appreciating an American culture just in their own soil, and they're not trying to reform it or style it into their own thing, which is a lot of what appropriation would be. So they're not going in and saying like, oh, I want the Roddy Ricch hairstyle, or I don't even, oh yeah, like a fro. Like I want that Roddy Ricch, I want that little Dirk. They're walking around, they say I want some locks, and I want some twists, I want braids, I want a perm to get my hair into like a 3C, a 4A texture, and they're gonna like maintain and stuff like that. And then because of that, because of all these people switching their hairstyles, there are a lot of people now in Japan who can handle black hairstyles, and they will be Japanese people because they know how to handle these hairstyles, because a lot of people are switching their hair to those textures and doing things like that. Anyway, so I see this as a win for black people, because the more Japanese people who switch their hair to look like ours, the more our hair can be accepted into their settings, in my opinion. I don't know. For a quick break, I had to go get water and find this brush with my glasses on, because I can't see actually anything without my glasses. Like, if you think I can see my face right now. Anyway, the next thing I want to go ahead and talk about was my overall experience. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I've actually had a few conversations with some girls who like mentioned how much they wanted to go to Japan, but they have the misconception that Japan like just absolutely hates black people, and like you're gonna get killed when you go over there and stuff like that. And that's not the case at all. They wouldn't have been rated one of the safest countries in the world for women, for black women, and for people all in general if that was the case. I promise you guys. So my experience, for the people who do know, a year ago around this exact time of year, I went to Japan for 3 weeks. Time in Japan on my first trip, I went to Nagasaki, Fukuoka, Osaka, Kyoto, Hiroshima. Then I went to Nagoya. I went to some places near Nagoya in Aichi Prefecture. And then I went to Chiba Prefecture on my first trip. And I do have a little bit of experience with talking about like how I was received in the city versus how I was received in the countryside. So I went ahead and did my eggosal and eyeliner off camera, because I tend to ramble a lot whenever I'm doing it, just because of nerves, because you know, you don't want to mess up your makeup at this stage. So the way I traveled was I went from Tokyo to Nagasaki, and then like I just started from west and went in. But I went to Nagasaki, Fukuoka, Osaka, Kyoto, Hiroshima, Nagoya, the whole Aichi Prefecture low-key anyway. Then I went straight to Tokyo, and I went to Chiba. And the way I was received in the country was really, really well actually. So in Nagasaki, my key memories when I was there was when I was walking by with a friend. And I recall like just walking down this street kind of near the museum. It's like the Peace Museum, I think, for the war. And I remember just seeing some kids in the street kind of pass by, and they're just like, hi, hello, hello, like just trying to say hi to me, trying to practice their English. And inside the museum, I remember when I strayed away from my friend, I had like these like literally adorable Japanese kids that came up to me and they're like, hello, my name is whatever. And I'm like, oh, you're so cute. And they just wanted to practice speaking English with me. But in the beginning, I was like, my social anxiety was like doing too much. So I was definitely like kind of nervous to be seen like as a foreigner for real, because I didn't want to be seen, period. Like, but thinking now on how those kids like really received me well over there, and just trying to practice English when they saw me and stuff like that, and smiling and stuff, or just even staring at me and stuff, was like, now it's like super heartwarming, because I just wish that I interacted with them more. But there was a lot of kids that were just trying to say hi the whole time that they saw me. A lot of people were trying to speak English with me and just like testing out their English skills. So when I was in Osaka, Kyoto, and stuff like that, those areas I was well received, because it wasn't their first time seeing like a black tourist. But when I went to Nagoya, that was also the same. When I went to the countryside in Nagoya, I was actually really well received. And there was another story I really wanted to talk about, because this is like my highlight story, and this is a place that literally like makes me cry every time I look at the videos and stuff. And that's because when I was in a place called Inoyama, and literally it's the kanji Inu and Yama, so I don't know if there's like a lot of dogs out there or something. I remember going to the castle, kind of walking, because once again, this was a solo trip. I went by myself. But when I was in Inuyama, there was like a group of like 3 or 4 Japanese women who were inside the castle, and they saw me walking around and looking at the signs and stuff like that. Like, I was actively trying to read what I could, but I was like super beginner in Japanese as well, so I couldn't read much, and I didn't want to be that one person who like took up the space. I didn't want to be that one person who took up all the space that they had to read the signs and stuff like that to translate everything just because I couldn't read it. So like I tried to read what I could, and whenever I couldn't, I was just like, all right, whatever. One of the highlights from my whole trip there was when Japanese women came up to me and were like, hey, do you understand the signs? Like, are you having fun? Are you reading? Are you like learning stuff? I was like, hi, like I understand some things. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I can't really understand everything. So then they came with me and walked through like the whole place again. And read out and like translated the signs so I could understand a little bit more, and it was like a very, very wholesome experience because they wanted to make sure I enjoyed the experience just like everyone who was Japanese and who understood the information and like wasn't translating and stuff like that. So I say this to say that race isn't going to be at the forefront of your experience in Japan. If you're a foreigner, if you're a tourist and you just want to know if you're going to be safe in Japan due to your race, it sucks that we even have to consider this, but yes, you will be safe in Japan as far as what I know, as far as all my friends know. I've been in literally bars and clubs and stuff like that where there was only black people there, where there was only people from Africa, Caribbean, stuff like that, where there was only foreigners. And you know, I've been in areas where like you wouldn't even think that like there would be a problem with people of color if you were in Japan. That's how well mixed and like blended the communities can be whenever you're in Japan, for sure. But yeah, race isn't going to be at the forefront of your experience. It's just a matter of you being a good person that's really going to be at the forefront, because if you're being like a douchebag or a jerk to everyone, you're going to kind of see not everyone well receives you. But if you're just being a normal person who just wants to experience the culture, people are going to really appreciate that, and you're going to really have a positive experience in return. Alright, so now that the makeup is done, I just wanted to get to the final talking points of this video. So the main reason I went ahead and made this video is, one, because I know a lot of people are interested in the topic right now on being black in Japan. I'm black, I just left Japan temporarily. And I also recently got into this conversation with a girl on Threads because she was wondering on if her being black was going to be an issue in Japan, if her safety was going to be jeopardized, or if she wasn't going to be well received, if she was going to be allowed in certain places and stuff like that. And honestly, it did break my heart a little bit because I really do like Japan, so I've done a lot of research on that, and I know there are still a lot of places in this world that doesn't really have the most liking towards people of color. So black people like me, people who are like way more significantly darker than me. It sucks to live in a world in freaking 2024 where that can be the case. But I just want to let you guys know that at least if you're interested in Japan, if you grew up interested in Japan like me, whether it be through anime, which I got into when I was like 18 basically, whether it be through anime, whether it be through the Travel Channel, Food Network, whether it be through learning about Japan in school like I learned it, and so much more, I want you guys to know that you are more than welcome to go ahead and experience the country. I've had so much fun with so many people, so many different backgrounds, regardless of their race, simply because Japan is a melting pot in many areas, especially Tokyo. So I want you guys to go ahead and know that you don't need to be afraid when it comes to being in Tokyo, to go to Japan, experience what the culture has to offer. And also, even if you don't speak Japanese, go ahead and visit like the countryside a little bit. Visit places other than Tokyo too, because it's awesome when you get to really see like the true beauty of Japan. And although you're going to need some Japanese, you don't need to be 100% fluent to have a great experience from the outskirts. And I really push you guys to go visit more than just Tokyo. Visit Hakone, visit Shizuoka Prefecture, or visit Aichi Prefecture. Go to Inuyama, because I love Inuyama, guys. Go to Inuyama, please. Go to Hokkaido. I know Hokkaido still gets a lot of people, but still, even go to Nagasaki. It's really great out there. It's really cool. You know, explore more of the country. Don't be scared of like your language abilities holding you back, because it doesn't take too much when you're learning the basics in Japanese anyway. So I definitely encourage and urge you guys to go ahead and visit the places that most people don't visit. Try new experiences and go ahead and visit the country and see what you can truly love about it more than just going to Tokyo as well. And that's all for the video. I know my ends aren't done, so don't get into that. Just get into the look. I hope you guys really like how it looks, because I really do. I know it's not too much, but as far as the topic of the video goes, I hope you guys were able to learn a lot. I hope the message that I was trying to portray gets well received for you guys, and I hope everyone is willing to go to Japan, experience new locations, and experience more things outside of Tokyo as well, because Japan really does have a lot to offer in every single prefecture. And within my next travels in Japan, you guys are going to see me do a whole lot more traveling outside of Tokyo too, because I have so many places on my list that I really want to go and experience too. Once again, I hope you guys were able to enjoy this video, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment so I can go ahead and interact with you guys. And as far as me, me. Angie is out. Have a great day. Peace.